Desiree Paulson, and we have both been working with the NSCF for a number of years as organizational development consultants. We are external facilitators, and we've journeyed with the NSCF over a period of time. This is the fourth phase of work, and I'm from Cape Town, so very windy, overcast day today. So it's lovely to be with you all. So I'll hand over to Ilse, and Ilse will just do a quick intro and share a little bit about the week ahead, and then we'll orientate you to the program and get started. Thank you. Ilse, over to you.
Morning, everybody. So lovely to see everybody's faces. I spotted Michelle, and then I spotted Alison. And yeah, there was just a real kind of, hi, Michelle, morning, Alison. I can see Simon on my screen as well, Fatima, who's also joining us this morning, and of course, our acting lead, Anthony. Thank you to everybody. Thank you to everybody who's joined us. It's wonderful to be with you. We've got some African rain blessings here in the Cape. So colleagues, yeah, my job is very short right now, is just to orientate us to the theme of the forum that we spending together for the next 4 days. And we have one slide for that, Chanel. So maybe we can just put that slide up. Chanel has made us a beautiful video that is going to tell the story, a little bit of the story of the NSCF that has brought us to this beautiful day. And through that, you'll be able to connect a little bit back to our history. So the theme for our Forum 2025 is From Roots to Fruits. That is our theme, and we hope that that theme will stir you and work with you in all the different ways in which that metaphor might make sense for you and might inspire you. We have divided our 4 days into 4 different moments in this whole eco-cycle of a natural system going from its deep-rootedness to where it eventually yields its fruits to the world. So our day 1 is, we have named it Soil and Story. Of course, everything is determined by the richness and the nourishment of the soil that we are rooted in. So our soil is where we come from. It is our history. It is our context. It's the bigger picture in which we are rooted. And so today we're going to cover those themes. And it is also, of course, the day in which we acknowledge some of our founders and celebrate what they have gifted the NSCF. Day 2, we move on from the soil, the richness of the soil, and we move into this idea of the root system, the roots and the mycorrhiza, which we've gotten to learn more about in the last couple of years, the incredible intelligence of trees and forests and natural systems. And that root system for us is represented by our institutional partners. That is the network. That is the living system, the network that forms the NSCF. So tomorrow is the day where we will hear from our institutions and reconnect with what's happening in some of the institutions, and where we will also recap about our assessment report, and just to get a sense of the state of our collections in that root system. Then we move on day 3 into the actual trunk and trees. So that is where we start getting shape in the world in a visible way. So a lot of the work that happens with soil and story and roots and mycorrhiza happens in invisible ways. But then we see the trunks and the trees. So what is our actual work? So day 3, we're going to look at We're going to look at some life stories from some of our colleagues, how they went from roots to fruits, but we're also going to look at what is our business plan, what is our streams of work, what are our deliverables, and how are we as a community going to collaborate to give shape to the work of the NSCF. And then on day 4, we come to the beautiful fruition of our week together, which is where we acknowledge our existence as a forest and the fruiting of all our work and all our labor. So we will look on day 4, we will look at our leadership transition, we will look at collective leadership, what it looks like in our network. We're going to look at how we connect again to each other, how we connect to some Indigenous knowledge around the work that we do. We're going to integrate all the different themes of the day, of the 4 days that we've spent together, and position ourselves to kind of return to our workplaces strengthened and inspired. So we're hoping that this theme of rooting from the soil through all the different elements of this natural system, we're hoping that connects with you and that inspires you. And each day, every morning, Des and I will remind you about where we're finding ourselves on that journey. So welcome. May our work have its fruits, and may all that invisible nourishment of the soil and the incredible work of the collections that happens often in such invisible places, may we have these days to celebrate that and look at how that yields fruits in the world, and what the impact is of our work in the world. Thanks, Des. Over to you.
Thank you, Ilse. So I'm going to just take you through the program overview of the week, of the day, actually. So I'll ask Chanel to just share the slide again. Thank you. So that just gives you an idea of a snapshot of the Soil and Story Day. So as Ilse said, it's really about the journey so far. Again, a reminder of the vision, mission, and principles. The next phase of the journey will give you an overview of that. And then just connecting with the bigger picture, honoring the founders, and then co-creating our next campaign. And so on the next 2 slides, we're just giving you an idea of the detailed program, which everyone should have received. But we know how busy people are, so we just want to show you the program so you can orientate yourself for the day. We haven't had the official opening yet or the welcome yet. So when those 2 people arrive, we'll give them a chance to just make their opening remarks. And then we're going to go straight into the video, which Chanel is going to share with us. So exciting. And then we move on to session 2, which is really looking at phase 4. And Anthony will be sharing around that. So all about the NSCF work and the place within the global biodiversity framework. And then we've got Fatima Parker, who is going to share about the G20 summit and the GBIF SA node. And then we've got Simon, who will share about the climate crisis. And then we're moving you into breakout groups. So that's where you'll get a chance to make sense of it all, have some conversations with each other. And by that time, I think everyone will be ready for a cup of tea or coffee or a little stretch break. And then moving to the next slide, Chanel, which takes you into the second part of this morning's session, day 1. So that's where we're moving to the honoring of our founders, and we've got some video clips to share, and then reflections and thought leadership from Michelle Hamer on the NSCF journey. And then some sharing by the elders. We've got Angus and Alison, the people who have journeyed from the very beginning. and then moving on to session 4, where we're looking at a co-creating an inquiry into access, use, and impact of collections. And so again, we've got Anthony and Fatima who will lead us into that session. And then we end the day with voices from the emerging leaders. Wonderful. We're excited to hear from them. And then we end off with some exciting fun and games. Maxine's got some surprises in store for us. So that's what our day looks like. And I trust that we're going to have some really wonderful engagements and conversations. So thank you, Chanel. I think I'm going to hand over to you now to take us into the video.
So yes, just good morning everyone again and welcome. So I'll be sharing a video that documents the journey of the NSCF from its early beginnings to the current phase, and it serves as a reminder of the major milestones that we've achieved as a collective. So enjoy. Join me on a visual journey of the NSCF story. It's a story about building community and preserving a legacy, a collective effort to ensure a sustainable, enriched life for all. We have grown to 19 partner institutions, including 9 museums, 4 universities, 5 science councils, and 1 citizen science society, holding over 80 collections. The NSCF's journey can be divided into distinct phases: establishment and building the foundation, capacity building and infrastructure development, and finally increasing use, access, value, and sustainability. The NSCF was formally launched in October 2017, marking a major milestone in the natural science collections community's commitment to safeguard the country's natural heritage. During the first few years, we focused on setting up governance structures, fostering collaboration among partner institutions, developing standards and practices, and providing support to participating institutions through infrastructure and other upgrades. The following phase saw significant investments in capacity building and infrastructure development, implementation of the CMC manual, and training courses in collections management and data management. The Ikokwana initiative was another major milestone during this phase. The community converged in a spectacular manner to learn together and improve the state of collections through the collections assessments. The current phase aims to increase the use, access, value, and sustainability of natural science collections by providing online digital access to collections and data, researching the value chain of research outputs, promoting awareness of the value of natural science collections, and increasing engagement with international initiatives and institutions. Images and data sets will be made accessible on the virtual museum platform, as well as on the Global Biodiversity Information Facility. The NSCF's journey is a testament to the dedication and passion of its stakeholders. As we move forward, we will continue to play a vital role in advancing and supporting the sustainable management of South Africa's natural heritage. Thank you for traveling with us.
Thank you so much. Thanks, Chanel. That was such a beautiful journey. And please show some love or clapping or put your messages in the chat, please. This is an interactive forum, so your voices are very important. And we'd love to hear any comments or see your little emojis on the screen so that we know that we are with each other. So thank you, Chanel. Really beautiful. And it's been such a wonderful journey. And I think just looking at that video, we've definitely made lots of friends and connections along the way. Feels like a family reunion, actually, this forum.
Thank you, Chanel. That really was beautiful. And I'm just going to hand back to you to remind us of what it is around which we as a community cohere, and what our intentions are, what our visions are, and what the principles are around which we want to keep each other accountable and make our contribution.
Great, thank you, Ilse. So yes, as Ilse said, so it's an opportune time now then for us to also remind ourselves what has underpinned all our hard work. And yeah, at the heart of everything that the NSCF does is our core purpose. And this wasn't something decided in isolation. It was developed collaboratively by the community of partners over several months during the first phases of the NSCF. And so it's a collective effort that has led to a sense of a shared ownership in what we aim to achieve. Our purpose is clear and ambitious: to enable sustainable, enriched life on Earth. And we aim to achieve this by working together as a dynamic network that deeply values the African context. We strive to promote, upgrade, and make accessible the incredible wealth of natural science collections and the data. And ultimately, we believe that by understanding and valuing our natural heritage, we can contribute to a more sustainable and enriched future for all. Then, just as our purpose was a community effort, so too the principles that guide our work, and they underpin how we operate and make decisions. So first we recognize and value our African heritage and context. So our work is grounded and relevant to the unique biodiversity and knowledge systems of Africa. Then we practice inclusivity through collaboration and decision-making. So we believe everyone's contribution is important and foster a collaborative environment across our diverse network. Thirdly, we practice honesty and moral principles. Integrity and ethical conduct are fundamental to our operations. And our work is excellent and professional, so we are committed to the highest standards in the management, curation, and accessibility of our collections and data. Then we also advocate for open access to collections, data, knowledge, and services, which means we believe that broad access is essential to maximize the impact and value of our resources. And finally, we use transformative processes that result in dynamic, adaptive, and innovative approaches. We're committed to continuous improvement and finding new ways to address challenges. And these principles are the foundation of how the NSCF operates as a collective. And just a reminder of our high-level goals. So we'll go into this in a bit more detail as the forum develops over the 4 days. But to achieve our purpose, we are focused on these goals, and they provide a roadmap for the activities over the coming years. So always importantly, ensuring our collections are well curated and accessible for research, both physically and virtually. Upgrading and expanding our specimen databases and making this vital information openly accessible to researchers and decision makers. And developing our online virtual museum to provide digital access to images, data, and historical documents. And this is for a wide range of users, from scientists to learners. And this includes a focus on imaging important type specimens. And then also actively engaging in outreach and communication to raise awareness of the immense value of natural science collections to society, including their relevance to the African context and indigenous knowledge systems. And finally, fostering international and African engagement to share knowledge and collaborate on the management and use of collections. Also, underpinning our core goals, we have some enabling strategies. So transformation and organizational strengthening. It aims to build a sustainable and collaborative NSCF network by addressing institutional challenges and fostering better communication among our partners. And then another key strategy is staffing and capacity development, which focuses on enhancing the skills of collection management and creation staff with training programs, mentorship, and the development of emerging leaders. So by working together, we can ensure these collections continue to serve as a crucial resource for understanding our world for generations to come. Thank you.
Thanks, Chanel. Thank you. Yeah, that really reminds us of why we're here together.